dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? You already know this is Punch Wrong Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moose, shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Mi gente, ladies and gentlemen, the people in the boxing world still feeling the effect of Canelo Alvarez losing to Dimitri Bivol. But congratulations to Del Drago, the Russian Dimitri Bivol, by outclassing Canelo Alvarez, neutralizing his offensive game. Had pretty good defense as well. But let's be real. Let's be real. Canelo Alvarez is not really competing with his contemporaries. Let me clarify that. Canelo Alvarez has separated himself from his contemporaries. The 160-pound division, 168, you already know he's undisputed. Canelo Alvarez is right now competing with legends. I'm being real. Canelo Alvarez is already competing with legends. That's why we say, is he the best Mexican to ever live? Is he going to be better than Floyd? Is he going to be better than Oscar de la Hoya? Is he going to be better than the legends already? It's almost like when we're comparing LeBron James. We're really comparing LeBron James if he's going to be better than Michael Jordan. Is he going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and things of that nature? We're already comparing him to legends, meaning that he already have surpassed, you know what I'm saying, comparison to his present contemporaries. What else does Canelo Alvarez really have to prove? Let's be honest. Do we feel that Canelo Alvarez is the best 160-pounder middleweight division, the middleweight in the sport of boxing? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Really, 40-year-old Triple G? I don't want to see the trilogy. And I don't think that a lot of people feel that Jamal Charlo has done enough in the middleweight division to even compare what Canelo Alvarez has done, or even the resume. Demetrius Andre as well. Good fighters, but Canelo Alvarez already had just separated himself so much. In the 160-pound division, he's already the undisputed. What is beating David Benavidez is gonna cement his legacy? No. The 24, 25-year-old is not gonna do that. Especially if David Benavidez is not even currently pound for pound on your list or anybody's list. Is Jamal Charlo is your list or anybody's list? Is Demetrius Andre pound for pound anybody's list, and Triple G's not even in the pound for pounds and nobody's list as well. I've seen this before in the sport of boxing. One of my favorite fighters, pound for pound man of the decade, Roy Jones Jr., 4th-division world champion, went to the heavyweight and captured the world title. Heavyweight started 5 divisions. And went all the way up, started at 154, went all the way to the heavyweight division and got the title. There was nothing left for Roy Jones Jr. to prove in the sport of boxing. He has separated himself from his contemporaries. He was ahead of his time. It was nothing left to prove for Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. came back down 20-plus pounds to fight Antonio Tarver. And he beat Antonio Tarver on the first fight. But people felt that he lost the fight. And right there, you could tell that took a lot out of Roy Jones Jr. just moving right back down. But he already conquered everything. He was already the king. And then he gave Antonio Tarver a rematch. And what happened? Got laid out. And ever since after that, Roy Jones Jr. just became a shell of himself. We didn't even think about Roy Jones Jr. the same way. It's unfortunate that it took a hit. It messed up Roy Jones Jr.'s legacy. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Roy Jones Jr. was invincible. He was Superman. He was the evolution of speed and power. Ahead of his time. He had nothing left to prove. Yeah, maybe he had more, but he had nothing left to prove with the people that was in front of him. That's why they always say, hey, yo, Roy Jones ain't fighting nobody. No, the thing is that Roy Jones Jr. has exceeded the expectation. That Roy Jones Jr. just separated himself from his contemporaries. That Roy Jones Jr., nobody even matched, even sniffed what he's accomplished. Ladies and gentlemen, Canelo Alvarez, Demetrius Andre hasn't accomplished close to what Canelo Alvarez have accomplished. Jamal Charlo hasn't accomplished even close to what he's accomplished. Not even Triple G. Yeah, one in the 160-pound division, but Canelo Alvarez beat him, and also Canelo Alvarez is a 4th-division world champion at the age of 31. David Benavidez can't sniff what he's done. Nobody in the 168-pound division. So Canelo Alvarez had to do almost the impossible, not the impossible, but go up a division because he needs to enhance his legacy, because who is really giving him the motivation to enhance his legacy? Even though that we want to see Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez and Demetrius Andre. I'm a Demetrius Andre fan. I still want to see that fan, but that's just my personal preference. But I can't shame Canelo Alvarez for not fighting these guys. I would love to see Jamal Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, but what does he really gain? How does he enhance his legacy if he's fighting these guys that's not even sniffing the pound-for-pound list? Canelo Alvarez has separated himself from his contemporaries that I don't even think Canelo Alvarez even could gain anything. He ain't going to gain nothing by going to the 160 pounds and fighting these dudes. He's not going to gain anything in 168 because he got everything. He already captured the 175. We already know that Canelo Alvarez, we could see that he's just too small for the division. So what we expect Canelo Alvarez to do? Canelo Alvarez, let's be real, let's be honest. He got nothing left to prove. If he retired right now, he's a walking Hall of Famer with his head up high. Red carpet, first ballot, roses. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Best guy of this generation. Will Canelo Alvarez overstayed his welcome in boxing? Yes, he's going to pursue the greatness. But now, you know what Canelo Alvarez is going to be doing? The same thing Roy Jones did. And that's going backwards. He's undisputed at 168. Well, y'all want him to go backwards at 160? Look at the contract that they gave him. They had an offer of a contract in PBC to fight Jamal Charlo and Earl the True Spence, 147-pounder, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Canelo Alvarez has already peaked. He peaked in terms of legacy for this generation. Yes, he's peaked for this generation. A 4th-division world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Undisputed. Now we're asking Canelo Alvarez not to move forward, but to look backwards. What was more for Roy Jones Jr.? That Holyfield was not going to fight him. Mike Tyson didn't fight him. Ain't no Lennox who was out there to fight. He's going to be looking backwards. So now you downgrade. And where's your motivation and your inspiration? The money? Canelo have enough money and great investments. Canelo Alvarez turned professional at the age of 15. He's done it all. He loved the sport of boxing. He's a fighter at heart. He feel like he gives so much. He still got a lot of money on the table to make. Just like Roy Jones Jr. had money to make. But just like a lot of great fighters, a lot of legends, they overstayed their welcome and they started losing in the end, like Roberto Duran and Hector Camacho. You know, sometimes they don't want to leave. Mike Tyson. We don't even remember the guys that Mike Tyson lost to. Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones Jr., man, they just overstayed their welcome. A lot of people critique guys like Andre Wolf for retiring early, but what else is going to enhance his legacy after Kovalev if he can't get the Triple G fight? Canelo was still small, still moving up. It's no more. It's no more 10 hands. Nobody got even a quarter of the legacy of Canelo Alvarez. So, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I want to see Canelo Alvarez fight, and I will enjoy him if he fights Jamal Charlo, I will enjoy the fight with David Benavidez, will enjoy the fight, but I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody in the sport of boxing, 168 or 160, that could enhance his legacy. He will be fighting for money and money only. I think he already put the cherry on top in 168. I don't know. Maybe I'm just living the moment right now. I just don't see who is the mega fight. Maybe this is what Canelo Alvarez probably even need, a rematch, something. Make a mega out of something. I don't know, folks. That's how I feel. Let me know how y'all feel. Leave it in the comment box. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. All right.